What up guys, today's video is going to be about Captain Commander Yamamoto from Bleach. So for those who've never watched Bleach, I encourage you to get into it. It's actually a very good anime. Don't get me wrong, it has a lot of fillers, but I do know online if you Google it, there are a lot of people that have already broken down the episodes that you can skip so that you can get a more enjoyable viewership of the anime. So let's jump right into it. I've seen a lot of videos lately talking about different swordsmen, and I feel that Bleach is one of the animes that's looked over and not truly respected, and they have some extremely great swordsmen in this series. And I think one of the best ones to me was Captain Yamamoto. So first let's talk about his sword. It is called Ryujin Jaka, which means flowing blade like flame, or flowing blade young flame, which is what the Viz translates at. Yamamoto is the oldest and most powerful fire type Zanpakuto and has greater offensive power than all other Zanpakuto in the Soul Society. In its steel form, Ryujin Jaka, which is its sealed form, Shikai, usually takes the appearance of a harmless wooden staff, which can be used like a spear. At any time, Yamamoto can remove this disguise by peeling off the wood, revealing its true form of a standard katana with a dark purple handle and a circular handguard. After Yamamoto was killed, Ryujin Jaka, now scorched and shattered, was returned to the 1st Division barracks. So in the Shikai form, in the steel form, it's just Ryujin Jaka a little, honestly, it's a walking stick. That's what Yamamoto constantly uses it as. He uses it as a big walking stick. In the Shikai form, he would always say when he pulled it out, reduce all creation to ash. Ryujin Jaka. For those who have never fully read the anime, when you actually get into the very last arc, the 1,000-Year Blood War, that's when you finally get to see Captain Yamamoto's Bankai. And that's when you get to see the next level of that. I mean, for years, for those that were avid Bleach fans, you got to see him use his different abilities, and if you got to see the Ranko saga or the saga where they fought Aizen, you got to see some of his other abilities that he used with his sword. But I'm gonna skip past his Shikai abilities because, to be fair to Yamamoto, they were child's play compared to his Bankai abilities. So when he actually goes into Bankai, and for those who don't follow Bleach, Bankai is basically a stronger version of his power with his sword. And his sword, which is why I feel they're true swordsmen, his sword is his power. And a lot of these other animes, like One Piece for existence, you have personnel like Law. Law's power comes from his devil fruit. He incorporates his swordsmanship in his devil fruit abilities, which gives him the ability to do stuff like radio knife and stuff like that. But the essence of his power comes from his devil fruit. In Bleach, the essence of their power comes from their sword, their katana, their Zanpakuto. And to skip over these people, when you have a video talking about swordsmanship, to me is kind of foolish, because they actually have some very great abilities if you get down into it. So let's get back into Yamamoto, and his Bankai is actually pretty neat. When he says Bankai, he goes Zaka no Tachi. Now the breakdown of his Bankai is Zaka no Tachi: east, west, north, and south. And each cardinal direction has a different power, which is pretty broken. But the first one, Zaka no Tachi, and I'm going to try my best to not butcher the Japanese version of this. Higasi Kuyo Kujasu Jin, or Zaka no Tachi East. Zaka no Tachi East is automatically activated when he releases his Bankai. This ability concentrates the intense flames of the sword along the edge of the blade. It neither burns nor erupts, but anything it touches is eradicated to nothingness. Even the defense of Blue Vein, which was pretty much the defensive capabilities of Yawich, the person he was fighting at the time. Which, again, I'm just going to repeat it. If you guys haven't read Bleach, at least get into the last, I'd say, 3-4 arcs. I think the 1,000-Year Blood War is very good to read through, and it's actually pretty cool because you actually get to see what actually happens to Yamamoto in the end of that. His next power is Zaka no Tachi Nisu Zanjutsu Guku, or Zaka no Tachi West, which stands for Remnant Sun Prison Garb. This is also automatically activated at release. This ability is unseen by the eyes of anyone else unless Yamamoto wields it. So basically, he clothes his body in a armor which is as hot as the sun. And the ability is only activated on the release of his Bankai, but nobody else can see it unless he allows you to. Therefore, it becomes impossible to even touch him while he's using this ability. Once he turns his Bankai on and activates it, his body is engulfed in temperatures of up to 15 million degrees. And that's just that alone. Let's just ability for ability. Let's think about that. That alone negates a lot of swordsmen when it comes to this anime game. Like, put Yamamoto up against other swordsmen. Yamamoto up against other swordsmen, those other swordsmen are taking L's just from those first two abilities. But to me, he has the ability to be extremely petty, and his next ability is the one that I like the most because I think it's pretty much the pettiest, and it's like a slap in the face. So we all know, for those that are familiar with the fact that I like to talk about One Piece, and we know it's a character called Moria, who has the abilities to use the shadows of people and basically make zombies. He has the ability to make zombies. He has the ability to make zombies of people that have passed once he takes your shadow. And it's a pretty good ability because it's like he can have endless soldiers. Well, the way Yamamoto puts his taste on that is the fact that he gets to raise the bodies of the people that he's killed. And that is just insane. So, Zaka no Taki Minanamu Kaku, which is Longsword of the Remnant Flames South, Great Burial Ranks of the 10 Trillion Fire Dead. Impaling the tip of his sword into the ground, Yamamoto calls upon the corpse and ashes of the dead who were killed by his flames to come forth and fight on his behalf. They emerge from a rupture in the ground, which comes with enough force to decimate other people. Using the heat of his sword on their ashes, he can rouse all the people he has killed, allowing the corpse to become his limbs and attack whoever he deems as his enemy until they become dust. He can bring forth any specific corpse which he wishes, allowing him to inflict psychological damage upon those with connections to those he has slain. That ability alone is petty as hell. And it's a mind game. To me, it's beautiful because it's great psychological warfare. And it's one of those abilities that just puts the icing on the cake without pretty much effort, because he could just sit there, be yards away from you, smash his sword into the ground, and you're done for a lot. I mean, let's just think about that ability in War of the Best. If just switch Whitebeard and Yamamoto and have Yamamoto standing on the ship and let him just smash his sword into the top of the ship or into the ice, and then just let literally everybody that he has ever killed, not the people he just killed that day, anybody who has ever been slain by his sword, just comes up and fights for him. That's an army. And keep in mind, in the name of the sword, it says ranks of the 10 trillion fire dead. Not saying he actually recalled 10 trillion people, but if he had a body count, that's pretty deadly. And then the last ability, last but not least, Zaka no Tachi Kira Tichi Kaijin. Long sword of the rimlet flame, north. Heaven and earth end in ashes. So this last ability is a slash of concentrated fire and heat, which incinerates whatever it touches out of existence. So, again, I just want to just put his information out there. A lot of people sleep on this guy. And then keep in mind, another way to know a good swordsman is to look at the people that come up under that swordsman. Because to me, I believe a great swordsman is also a great teacher. In order for you to be a master swordsman, you should be a master of your craft so much that you can teach others. When you look at people like Mihawk and how Zoro was his student. And to be fair, I think Mihawk taught others. Excuse me. I also think another person is Yamamoto. He was the teacher of Zaraki Kenpachi. And if you think back, he taught Kenpachi Kido. Kenpachi is a brawler that never really needed it, yet he used it in the Rancor saga when he was literally about to die, when he was fighting Nitoria. He was literally about to die, and he was explaining to Nitoria that he called him the old man, but basically he was forced to learn it by Yamamoto, and at that moment he needed to use the Kido, even though he's reluctant, because he was about to die. Like, Nitoria had inflicted some extremely deadly wounds, and he was bleeding out pretty bad. Kenpachi pretty much explained to Nitoria that a sword's power is significantly stronger when you use two hands. And once he did that strike, he pretty much decimated Nitoria. I think looking at him as a student, and not really his fighting style, but the abilities and strength that he honed under the tutelage and training of Captain Yamamoto, says significant things about the teachings and the abilities of the Master Swordsman, Captain Commander Yamamoto. So anyway, I don't want to make this video really long. I just want to put some respect on that man's name, because I hear a lot of people, well, I won't say here, I see a lot of videos from the big YouTubers, and let's be honest, a lot of people are sleeping on Bleach because Bleach isn't out right now. Like, Bleach hasn't had the last season animated, and let's be fair, the last seasons of Bleach were rushed. So it's a lot of stuff that's missing. But to all the real Bleach fans, I think it was fair that we could just come out and put some respect on this man's name, because I feel he was getting stepped on. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. This is a quick video. I just wanted to get it out there because I felt it was something that was necessary. I might do a video on Trafalgar Law, but I think a lot of people have already really got deep in the law's abilities, and I don't want to beat a dead horse and continue to get on the One Piece train unless it's something worthwhile talking about. So, thank you guys for your time. Jace out.